The field trip permission slips had been signed 3 weeks ago. 32 kindergartners, ages 5 and 6, bouncing with excitement about visiting the Vermont Natural History Museum. Their teacher, Catherine Reynolds, Kate to the children, had been planning this trip for months. She'd mapped the route, coordinated with parent chaperones, arranged lunch, prepared worksheets about dinosaurs and minerals and the Ice Age. Everything was perfect. What Kate hadn't planned for was the 6 armed men who would storm the museum at 10:47 a.m. and take 200 people hostage. And what those 6 men had no idea about was that the quiet kindergarten teacher shepherding 32 children through the dinosaur exhibit used to kill people for a living. Welcome to Secrets Never Told. Before we dive into this story of hidden violence and protective fury, drop a comment telling us where you're watching from. And if you believe the most dangerous person in any room is often the one nobody's watching, hit that subscribe button. Catherine Reynolds had been teaching kindergarten at Maple Grove Elementary in Burlington, Vermont for 6 years. She was 48 years old, average height, brown hair usually pulled back in a practical ponytail, reading glasses on a chain around her neck. She wore comfortable shoes and cardigans with pockets for tissues and stickers. She had a reputation as the patient teacher, the one who could calm any tantrum, who never raised her voice, who somehow got even the most difficult 5-year-olds to sit still during story time. The parents loved her. The children adored her. The principal considered her a model educator. None of them knew that before becoming a kindergarten teacher, Kate had spent 22 years with the CIA's Special Activities Division. She'd been a field operative specializing in deep cover assignments and, when necessary, close quarters combat and tactical elimination of high-value targets. She spoke 6 languages fluently. She'd worked in 14 countries. She had 47 confirmed kills, though the actual number was higher because some of her work had been so classified it didn't officially exist. Kate had left the CIA at 42 after a mission in Syria went sideways. She'd completed the objective, eliminated a terrorist financier who'd been funding attacks across Europe, but his bodyguard had managed to detonate a suicide vest before Kate could stop him. Kate survived. 7 civilians in the building didn't. She'd saved thousands of lives over her career, but those 7 deaths stayed with her, so she'd resigned, moved to Vermont, got a teaching degree, and started working with kindergartners. Because 5-year-olds were honest. They didn't lie about who they were or what they wanted. They cried when they were sad and laughed when they were happy and hugged you when they needed comfort. After 22 years of deception and violence, that simplicity felt like redemption. The field trip started perfectly. 2 school buses, 32 children, 4 parent chaperones, and Kate. The museum was an hour away in Montpelier. The kids sang songs on the bus. Kate reviewed the rules. Stay with your group, use inside voices, keep your hands to yourself, listen to Miss Reynolds. The Vermont Natural History Museum wasn't huge, but it was perfect for kindergartners. Dinosaur skeletons, mineral exhibits, Ice Age mammals, interactive displays where kids could touch fossils and learn about geology. Kate had divided the children into 4 groups of 8, each with a parent chaperone. She'd take them through exhibits in rotation, ending with lunch in the museum cafeteria and the gift shop. They'd been in the museum for 37 minutes when everything went wrong. Kate was with her group of 8 in the dinosaur hall, a massive room with a T-Rex skeleton as the centerpiece, surrounded by velociraptors, triceratops, and other prehistoric creatures. The children were mesmerized, pointing at the giant bones, asking questions about whether dinosaurs were scary and what they ate and could they come back to life. Kate was explaining that dinosaurs had been extinct for 65 million years when she heard the gunshots. 3 shots, rapid succession, from the museum's main entrance. Kate's body reacted before her mind processed it. She dropped into a protective crouch, eyes scanning for threats, hands instinctively reaching for weapons that weren't there because kindergarten teachers don't carry guns. The children froze. Several started crying. Kate forced herself to stay calm. "Okay, friends," she said in her teacher voice. Bright, cheerful, totally at odds with the adrenaline flooding her system. "We're going to play a new game. It's called the Quiet Game. We're going to find the best hiding spot and see who can be the most silent. Ready?" 8 little faces looked at her with confusion and fear, but they trusted Miss Reynolds, so they nodded. Kate scanned the dinosaur hall. The T-Rex skeleton stood on a raised platform with space underneath, maybe 3 feet of clearance, accessible through a maintenance panel she'd noticed during her pre-trip reconnaissance. Yes, she'd done reconnaissance. Old habits. She got the 8 children under the platform, made them lie flat, told them it was like camping. No talking, no moving. If you need to cry, cry very, very quietly. I'll be right here. Then she crawled out and went to find her other 24 students. The museum had erupted into chaos, screaming, running. Kate moved against the crowd, low and fast, heading toward the Ice Age exhibit where another group should have been. She found them, 8 children and a parent chaperone frozen behind a woolly mammoth display. "Come with me, quickly, quietly." She She got them to the dinosaur hall, added them to the hiding spot under the T-Rex. 16 children now, packed together, terrified but silent. 2 more groups to find. Kate moved through the museum like a ghost. She'd spent 6 years walking these halls with children, but she was seeing them now the way she used to see buildings in Damascus and Kabul, as tactical environments with cover points, sight lines, and choke points. She found the 3rd group in the mineral exhibit. 8 children huddled with their chaperone behind a display of giant geodes. Kate got them moving, got them to the dinosaur hall, added them to the T-Rex hiding spot. 24 children, 8 more to go. The last group was in the worst possible place, the main atrium, near the museum entrance, where the gunmen had entered. Kate approached carefully, staying behind exhibits, moving with the silence that had once let her cross rooms full of sleeping terrorists. She could hear voices now, male, aggressive, speaking in accented English. She reached the edge of the atrium and looked. 6 men, all armed with automatic rifles, tactical gear, organized, professional. They'd herded roughly 200 museum visitors, tourists, families, school groups, staff, into the center of the atrium. People were sitting on the floor, hands visible, terrified. And there, separated slightly from the main group, were Kate's last 8 students with their chaperone. Kate assessed the situation with 22 years of training. 6 hostage takers, 200 hostages. Police would be outside by now. She could hear sirens. Standard response would be negotiate while SWAT positioned. Time frame, anywhere from 2 to 12 hours depending on demands and negotiations. The problem, she had 32 5- and 6-year-olds in a museum. They were scared. They'd need bathroom breaks. They'd get hungry. Some would panic. And if shooting started, they'd be traumatized for life. Unacceptable. Kate made a decision that went against every instinct of self-preservation she'd developed. She was going to get those last 8 children, hide all 32, and then she was going to neutralize 6 armed men by herself without weapons, while making sure no children saw any violence. It was an impossible plan, but Kate had done impossible things before. She waited, watched. The gunmen were organizing. Their leader, older, maybe 45, seemed to be in charge, was shouting demands. Kate's Arabic was rusty, but functional. They wanted Senator Morrison. The senator was apparently in the museum with his family. They wanted him brought to the atrium. Terrorist attack. Political target. This was going to be a long standoff. Kate used the chaos to move closer. She reached the edge of the atrium, hidden behind a display about Vermont's geological history. Her 8 students were 20 feet away. One of the little girls, Emma, blonde pigtails, loved drawing, saw Kate and her eyes went wide. Kate put a finger to her lips, smiled, made it into a game. Emma understood. She elbowed the boy next to her, Marcus, and whispered. The whisper spread through the group. 8 children now staring at Miss Reynolds, waiting for instruction. Kate made hand signals. Come here, quietly, crawl. The parent chaperone, Mrs. Chen, Marcus's mother, understood. She started moving the children toward Kate, keeping low, keeping quiet. The gunmen were focused on the main group, searching for the senator. It took 3 minutes. 3 very long minutes. But Kate got all 8 children behind the display, got them moving toward the dinosaur hall, got them reunited with their classmates. 32 children under the T-Rex skeleton, 4 parent chaperones with them, all hidden, all safe for now. Kate addressed them in a whisper. Listen carefully. Bad people are in the museum, but the police are outside and they're going to fix everything. You need to stay here, stay quiet, and stay brave. Mrs. Chen, Mrs. Williams, Mr. Patel, Ms. Rodriguez, watch them. Keep them calm. I'm going to help. What are you going to do? Mrs. Chen whispered, terrified. Kate looked at her, and for just a moment, let the mask slip. Let Mrs. Chen see what was underneath the kindergarten teacher exterior. I'm going to end this. Then Kate was gone, moving back through the museum. She needed weapons, real weapons. But first, she needed intelligence. Who were these men? What did they want? What was their end game? Kate made her way to the museum security office, a small room off the main corridor. The door was open. Inside, 2 security guards were zip-tied to chairs, unconscious but breathing. Kate checked their pulses. Alive. Good. She looked at the security monitors. 6 men, as she'd counted. They'd taken positions around the atrium, 2 by the entrances, 4 roaming the hostages. Professional spacing, military training. This wasn't amateur hour. Kate opened the weapons locker. Empty. The terrorists had cleared it. But Kate had worked in enough hostile environments to know that security guards always had backup. She checked under desks, behind filing cabinets. Found it. A taser, a can of pepper spray, and a collapsible baton. Not much, but she'd worked act with less. Kate studied the security monitors, mapping the museum in her head. 6 men. She needed to separate them, isolate them, eliminate them one by one without alerting the others and without any hostages seeing. It would require perfect timing, perfect silence, and a level of violence she hadn't employed in 6 years. But for 32 children hiding under a dinosaur skeleton, Kate would do whatever was necessary. She started with the terrorist farthest from the main group, a younger man, maybe 25, patrolling the second-floor exhibits. Kate watched his pattern. Every 4 minutes, he walked past the restrooms. There was a blind spot there, out of sight from his partners. Kate moved into position, waited. The man approached, turned the corner. Kate was behind him instantly, baton extended, striking the nerve cluster at the base of his neck, a technique that caused instant unconsciousness without permanent damage. The man dropped. Kate caught him, dragged him into the women's restroom, zip-tied his hands and feet with supplies from her teacher bag. She always carried zip ties. 5-year-old's shoelaces needed emergencies. Gagged him and left him unconscious in a stall. 1 down, 5 to go. Number 2 was more complicated. He was stationed near the museum's west entrance, watching the parking lot, waiting for police to make a move. Kate couldn't approach from inside without being seen by his partners, so she went outside. The museum had emergency exits. Kate slipped out through the service entrance used for deliveries, moved along the building's perimeter. Police had established a perimeter. She could see SWAT vehicles positioning, negotiators setting up communication equipment, officers creating barriers. She stayed low, moved through the landscaping, used parked cars for cover, reached the west entrance from outside. The terrorist was visible through the glass doors, his back to the parking lot, rifle slung across his chest, watching the interior. Kate tested the door carefully, locked from inside with a deadbolt. She needed him to open it, or she needed to create a distraction significant enough that he'd investigate. She looked around the exterior, found what she needed, a landscaping rock about the size of a softball. She picked a window 10 feet from the entrance, calculated the angle, threw hard. The window shattered with a loud crash that echoed across the parking lot. The terrorist inside spun toward the sound, confused, bringing his rifle up. He shouted something to his partners. Kate caught the Arabic. He was reporting possible breach. He approached the broken window cautiously, scanning for threats. Kate was already at the main entrance door working the lock. She'd kept lockpicks in her teacher bag for years, ostensibly for classroom supply cabinets that sometimes jammed, but really because some skills you never let go rusty. Her fingers worked the pins with muscle memory from 1,000 training hours. The lock clicked. She slipped inside, silent as smoke. The terrorist was still focused on the broken window, his back to her, rifle raised, calling out in Arabic, "Show yourself!" "Who's there?" Kate crossed the distance in 4 steps. Taser deployed, pressed against his lower back where body armor didn't cover, trigger pulled. 50,000 volts. The man's muscles seized. He collapsed, rifle clattering. Kate caught the weapon before it hit the floor, sound discipline, then dragged the unconscious terrorist into a nearby janitor's closet, zip-tied his wrists and ankles, gagged him with duct tape from the cleaning supplies, checked his pulse, alive, secured. She took a moment to breathe. Her heart rate was elevated but controlled. She'd expected the training to come back, but not this easily. It was like riding a bicycle, a very violent, tactical bicycle. 2 down, 4 to go. The next one was tricky. He was in the atrium, close to the hostages, pacing back and forth with his rifle, watching both the crowd and his partners. Kate couldn't take him there. Too visible, too many witnesses, too much risk of someone getting hurt. She needed to lure him away from the group. She returned to the security office, studied the PA system controls. It was a standard commercial setup, speakers throughout the building, zones controllable individually. Kate isolated the dinosaur hall, made sure no other zones were active. Then she accessed the system's sound library. Museums often had ambient sounds for exhibits. She found what she needed, a recording of children's voices, excited chatter meant for educational displays. Kate modified it, lowered the volume, added distortion to make it sound like crying, like scared children calling for help. Then she played it through the dinosaur hall speakers. The sound echoed through the museum's corridors, faint, distant, but clear enough. The terrorist in the atrium heard it, stopped pacing, head tilted. Kate watched on the security monitors as he said something in Arabic to his nearest partner. She caught enough to understand. "I hear children. The dinosaur hall. I'll check it." His partner nodded, stayed with the hostages. The man headed toward the dinosaur hall, rifle ready, moving cautiously. Kate left the security office, reached the Ice Age exhibit before him. She climbed onto the woolly mammoth display, a massive reconstruction standing 12 feet tall. The display was sturdy enough to support her weight if she distributed it correctly. She positioned herself on the mammoth's back, lying flat, invisible from below. slow. The terrorist entered the dinosaur hall, checked the area where Kate's students were hiding. They stayed silent, stayed still. Perfect angels. He looked confused, moved deeper into the hall, past the T-Rex, toward the Ice Age exhibit. Kate could hear him calling out in Arabic. "Where are you? Come out!" He walked directly beneath the woolly mammoth. Kate dropped like a stone, baton extended, using gravity and body weight to increase impact. She struck the nerve cluster where neck met shoulder, a technique designed to cause instant unconsciousness without permanent damage. The man collapsed. His rifle clattered on the floor. Kate caught it before the sound could echo, then landed in a roll, coming up with the weapon secured. The man was unconscious, but breathing. Kate checked him quickly. No head trauma. Pulse strong. She dragged him behind the mammoth display, out of sight, zip-tied his wrists and ankles, secured his weapon. Now she had an assault rifle. Better than the taser and baton, but still not something she wanted to use. Gunfire would cause panic, might trigger the other terrorists to start shooting hostages. 3 down, 3 to go, including the leader. Kate knew the next phase would be harder. The remaining 3 would notice their missing partners. They'd get paranoid, might hurt hostages. She needed to move faster. She used the rifle, not to shoot. Gunfire would cause panic, but as a tool. She smashed a window in the east wing, creating another distraction. One terrorist went to investigate. Kate was waiting, took him down silently, secured him. 4 down, 2 to go. The leader was getting nervous now. He was shouting into his radio, getting no responses. He knew something was wrong. He grabbed a hostage, a middle-aged woman, put a gun to her head, started making demands in English. "Show yourself! Who's doing this? Show yourself or I kill her!" Kate had to end this. Now, she moved to the second floor, directly above the atrium. The museum had a skylight, massive glass ceiling letting in natural light. Kate looked down. The leader and his last remaining partner were in the center, surrounded by hostages. Kate studied the setup. The skylight had a maintenance catwalk for cleaning. Accessible from a locked door Kate could pick. She could get up there, but then what? Jump through glass? That would alert them. Probably get hostages killed. She needed a better plan. Kate looked around. Found it. The museum's fire suppression system. Industrial sprinklers controlled from the security office. She ran back, activated them. Chaos erupted. 200 people screaming as water poured from above. The 2 remaining terrorists were shouting, trying to maintain control. Kate used the confusion. Came down the main stairs, rifle up, moving like the operator she used to be. The last non-leader terrorist saw her, brought his rifle up. Kate was faster. Taser, she'd kept it. 50,000 volts. He dropped. 5 down, 1 to go. The leader still had his hostage, but now he saw Kate, a kindergarten teacher in a cardigan, holding a rifle with perfect tactical stance. His face showed confusion, then recognition, not of Kate specifically, but of what she was. Operator recognizing operator. "Who are you?" he demanded in English. "I'm a kindergarten teacher," Kate said calmly. "Let her go." "You're not a teacher." "I am now." "Let her go." "I'll kill her." "No, you won't, because if you do, I'll kill you. And you know I can. You know what I am. You saw how I took down your 5 partners without firing a shot. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to release the hostage, drop your weapon, and surrender. Or you're going to die. Your choice." The man looked at her, at the rifle in her hand, at the 200 hostages watching, at the police outside. He was calculating odds. He let the hostage go, dropped his weapon, raised his hands. "Smart choice," Kate said. SWAT came through the doors 30 seconds later. They found 6 terrorists, 5 secured throughout the museum, 1 surrendering in the atrium, 200 hostages safe, 0 casualties, and 1 kindergarten teacher who calmly handed over the rifle, raised her hands, and explained that she'd just been trying to keep everyone safe. The FBI interviewed Kate for 4 hours. They ran her fingerprints, found her CIA file, heavily redacted, most of it classified, made some phone calls to Langley, got confirmations that, yes, Catherine Reynolds was exactly who her file said she was. They offered her a job. She declined. They asked her how she'd done it. She said, training and luck. They asked if she'd been scared. She said yes, but not for herself, for the children. By the time Kate returned to the museum's dinosaur hall, her 32 students were being released. They ran to her, crying, hugging her legs, telling her how brave they'd been, how quiet they'd stayed. Emma, the little girl with blonde pigtails, looked up at Kate. "Miss Reynolds, were you helping the police?" Kate knelt down, smiled. "Something like that. You were really brave. You were all really brave. I'm so proud of you." Mrs. Chen approached. "What you did, I don't understand how." Kate cut her off gently. "Sometimes we're more than we appear to be. Sometimes we have to be." 3 days later, Kate was back in her classroom at Maple Grove Elementary. The field trip had made national news. Kindergarten teacher foils terror attack. But Kate had refused all interview requests. She just wanted to return to teaching. Her students came in that Monday morning with drawings, pictures of dinosaurs, pictures of Miss Reynolds being brave, pictures of themselves hiding and being quiet. Kate Kate put every drawing on the classroom wall. During circle time, little Marcus raised his hand. Miss Reynolds, why did those bad men come to the museum? Kate thought carefully about her answer. Sometimes people make bad choices, but there are always good people who stop them. Police officers, firefighters, teachers, parents, lots of people who care about keeping others safe. Like you? Emma asked. Like all of us, Kate said. We all have the ability to be brave and help others. It was a good answer. Age-appropriate, comforting. It was also true. 6 months later, Kate received a letter. No return address. Inside was a note written in Arabic, translated to English. You saved my life at that museum. I was one of the hostages. I am also a journalist who has covered conflict zones for 20 years. I recognized what you did. I recognized what you were. Thank you for choosing to be a teacher instead. The world needs both types of warriors. A friend. Kate burned the letter, but she kept the sentiment because the friend was right. Kate had been a warrior. She'd done necessary things in dark places. She'd saved lives by taking lives, but now she was a different kind of warrior. One who taught 5-year-olds to read and tie their shoes and share and say please and thank you. One who believed that teaching children to be kind was just as important as stopping terrorists. Maybe more important. What makes someone dangerous? The willingness to fight, the skills to win, or the wisdom to choose when fighting is necessary and when teaching is enough? Share your thoughts below. At Secrets Never Told, we believe the most powerful people are those who have the capacity for violence but choose peace and know the difference. Until next time, remember, protection comes from unexpected places, and the person teaching your children might be the one standing between them and harm, carrying skills and secrets you'll never know about, asking nothing in return except the chance to make tomorrow better than today.